Whenever I consider why we are fighting and how we have reached this crisis, I have a strong sense that this day of your splendid rally will be the dawn of freedom for the whole of Britannia. You have mustered to a man, and to a man you are free. There are no lands behind us, and even the sea is menaced by the Roman fleet. The clash of battle, the hero's glory, has become the coward's safest refuge. Earlier battles against the Romans were won or lost, but never without hope. We're always there in reserve. We, the choice flower of Britannia, have been treasured in her most secret places, out of sight of subject shores. Even our eyes are free from the defilement of tyranny. We, the last men of the earth, and the last of the free, have been shielded till today by the very remoteness of our rumored land. But now the boundary of Britannia is exposed, and everything unknown is valued all the more. Beyond us lies no other nation, nothing but waves and rocks, and Romans, more deadly still than they, whose arrogance no submission or moderation can elude. Brigands of the world, after exhausting the land by their wholesale plunder, they now ransack the sea. The wealth of an enemy excites their greed, his poverty, their lust for power. Neither east nor west has served to glut their maw. Only they, of all on earth, long for the poor with as keen a desire as they do the rich. Robbery, butchery, rapine, these the liars call empire. They create desolation and call it peace. Our children and kinsmen, by nature's law, we love above all else. These are torn from us by conscription to slave in other lands. Our wives and sisters, even if they are not raped by Roman enemies, are seduced by them in the guise of guests and friends. Our goods and fortunes are ground down to pay tribute. Our land and harvests to supply grain. Our bodies and hands to build roads through woods and swamps, all under blows and insults. Slaves who are born into slavery are sold only once, and are moreover maintained by their masters. Britannia daily buys her own enslavement, daily feeds her enslavers. And just as in a private household, the latest arrival is always abused by even his fellow slaves, so in this slave household of the world, as the Romans have long ago made it, we are the cheap new acquisitions, picked out for extirpation. We have no fertile lands, no mines, no harbors, which we might be spared to work. Courage and martial spirit we have, but these are qualities that rulers do not prize in their subjects. Even our remoteness and seclusion, just as they protect, so they also expose us to suspicion. Abandon, then, all hopes of mercy, and at last take courage, whether it is life or honor that you hold most dear. The Brigantes, with only a woman to lead them, burnt a colony, stormed a camp, and if successful, had not made them careless, might have cast off the yoke. But we, uncorrupted and unconquered, are fighting to retain our freedom, not regain it after second thoughts. Let us prove at the first clash of arms what kind of men Caledonia has held in reserve. Can you really imagine that the Romans' bravery in war measures up to their license in peace? No. It is our quarrels and disunion that have given them fame. The reputation of the Roman army is built upon the faults of its enemies. Look at it, a motley agglomeration of nations that will be shattered by defeat, as surely as it is now held together by success. Or can you seriously think that those Gauls and Germani, and to our bitter shame, many Britanni too, are bound to Rome by genuine loyalty or love? They may be lending their lifeblood to foreign tyrants, but they were enemies of Rome much longer than they have been her slaves. Apprehension and terror are weak bonds of affection. Just break them, and where fear has ended, hatred will begin. All that can goad men to victory is on our side. The enemy have no wives to fire their courage, no parents ready to haunt them if they run away. Most of them have no homeland, or have one another than Rome. See them, a scanty band, scared and bewildered, staring blankly at the unfamiliar sky, sea, and forests surround. The gods have given them like spellbound prisoners into your hands. Have no fear for the empty pomp, the glitter of gold and silver that can neither avert nor inflict a wound. In the very rank of our enemies, We shall find hands to help us. The Britanni will recognize our cause as their own. The Gauls will recall their lost liberté. The rest of the Germani will desert them, just as the Usipi have recently done. They have nothing in reserve that need alarm us. Forts without garrisons, colonies of old men, towns sick and distracted between rebel subjects and tyrant masters. On this side, you have a general and an army. On that, the tribute, the mines, and the other penalties imposed on slaves. Whether you are to endure these forever or take quick vengeance, this field must decide. On then, into action! And as you go, think of those that went before you, of those that shall come after.